Normally this episode is titled The Week in Weird Files, but I didn't feel that was appropriate for today. Tragedy struck this week at a South Carolina middle school, and I feel like we need to talk about it. The details of today's episode are horrific, but not graphic, so if you have children close by in ear's range, you may not want to listen just yet. On Thursday in Greenville County, a 12-year-old middle schooler was shot and killed as students were changing classes. Jamari Cortez Bonaparte Jackson died at 1:05 p.m. that day from a gunshot wound to the chest. The shot was fired around 12:20 at Tanglewood Middle School, and he was transported from there to Prisma Health Greenville Memorial, but he passed away less than an hour later. Another 12-year-old who is also a student at Tanglewood Middle has been charged with murder, possession of a firearm on school property, and unlawful possession of a weapon by a person under the age of 18. He was found near the school, hiding under the deck of a home that was nearby to the school, and the handgun that was used was also recovered. The shooting is an isolated incident, and it's known that Jamari and the suspect are familiar with each other, but the motive for the murder and just how the weapon was obtained is still being investigated. After the shooting, students were taken by buses to Brookwood Church to be reunited with their families. At first, they weren't sure if the shooting was isolated, so the decision was made to get them out of possible harm's way. The decision was also made to take the students to the church because of the amount of first responders on the scene. When the call for backup from the school's SRO officer went out, more than 200 members of law enforcement arrived on the scene. Yesterday was an optional day for students, teachers, and staff. Counselors were on hand for anyone who needed to talk about the shooting. Now, just before I was getting ready to record this episode, WYFF out of Greenville released a story saying that video from a doorbell camera had surfaced showing the shooter trying to get into the home where he was later found at. When he couldn't get in, he then knocked and rang the doorbell. No one was home, but the homeowner spoke with the boy through the doorbell's app on her phone. He pleaded many times to be let in because he was scared and he wanted to call his dad. He then told the homeowner that someone had been shot at his school. The homeowner did call the boy's dad, and later law enforcement called her back from the dad's phone asking for a description of the boy. That homeowner did say that had she been at home at that time, she probably would have let him in because he was a baby, in her words. Near the end of the video, you can see the boy being led away in handcuffs. Now, let me make this clear before I hop on my soapbox. I'm in no way against guns at all. I feel that we should have the right to protect ourselves, and the emphasis should be on the word protect. Also, I'm not laying the blame on any one single person, so just hear me out. Now, people want to put the blame on video games, TV shows, music, movies, and the list goes on and on. But to me, that's just laying the blame on, somewhere else. There are a lot of changes that need to be made across the board in this country. Taking care of human beings of all ages is kind of like a ladder. Every single rung on that ladder has a responsibility. Now remember, I'm not laying the blame on any one single person. Now, I don't know what the suspect's home life is like, so I'm not blaming them at all on, but on that ladder, the parents or family in general, and all parents and family everywhere, are that first rung of responsibility. Now, on another rung, we have the school. Did they know this child was going to be doing a shooting that day and kill a classmate? No, I wouldn't think that they would have. But why schools don't have metal detectors at all entrances is beyond me. I mean, you go to get on an airplane, there's metal detectors that you have to go through. You go to the courthouse, there's metal detectors at the doors. You go to a concert or any other event, there's metal detectors. We protect people on flights, judges and everyone in the courthouse, everyone attending those events. So why aren't our most precious assets, our children, worthy of that same first step of protection? And when I say schools, I'm not saying like individual schools. I mean like the school districts. So to the school districts all across America and around the world, step up and protect our children. I know it's going to be costly, but the loss of a child is more costly in so many ways. Now, another rung is the government on all levels, from local to federal. Laws need to be passed. Now, I'm not saying take everybody's guns away. I've already established that fact. I don't know how to keep the guns out of the wrong hands, because there's always going to be these back alley shady dealings going on, trading guns and whatnot. But there's got to be an effort made. Many politicians make these claims that they're going to do this or that if they're elected, and gun control is always one of their hot topics. Well, y'all need to make good on those words for our kids. But here's the kicker, y'all. Just like you can't get to the top of a ladder with missing rungs, this problem isn't going to be solved without a combined effort. It's going to take every rung on the ladder working together. Now, I'm not speaking on this as a podcast host with a hot topic. I'm a parent. I still have a kid and a grandkid in school. Don't think for once it can't happen at your child's school. I don't like wondering when I send Nick to school in the morning if I'll see him again when that last bell rings for the day. I want to see all three of my kids and my grandkid grow up. Every parent and grandparent does. Every single one of us need to step up. To Jamari's family, my heart is broken for y'all. I can't imagine what you're feeling. You have my love and support. And to the family of the suspect, you have my love too. I know that your hearts are heavy and your pain is just imaginable also. I'm going to end this episode right here. When more information is released, I will update. Have a good weekend, y'all.